Yo, welcome back to the Hideout, you guys. It is me, Doncho, and I'm so glad you guys can make it. And as you guys know, we are talking about Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 136. All right. As always, you guys, if you guys like the channel and you like the content, just make sure you hit that like button, you hit that subscribe button. Don't forget the bell icon, and please drop some comments to the video. If you have any thoughts, make sure you drop comments to the video. And if you want to support the channel, there is a Patreon and a Ko-Fi for Doncho's Hideout. We would love it if you guys want to support the channel so that we can get the production value up and we can do all types of different things, all right? All types of different equipment, all that stuff, right? But like I said, we are here to talk about Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 136. So before we get into it, intro. All right, so Akutami is not, Akutami is here. And if this chapter didn't confirm to you that Jujutsu Kaisen is probably going to be a long runner in Shonen Jump, then I really don't know what else you needed for you to understand that this is going to be a long runner. But before we get too deep into that, let's talk about the concept of the chapter, right? So we starting off Yuki coming in to save the day. And she comes in and off bat, GETWO is continuing to talk about the world to come, okay? As he told the Yuji a few chapters ago, he told him that we are going to talk about the world to come, okay? And him talking about this world to come, he has now basically given us his full plan. He has now given us what he really is desiring. We have finally gotten what this guy is looking for and what this guy wants out of everything he's been doing, right? And it was a lot deeper than even I was kind of thinking of, right? I actually had no idea. I figured that he was on some type of take over the world shit or something, you know, or just wanting cursed energy to rule the world. And that kind of is what he's on, right? He talks about basically turning Japan into a siphon of cursed energy. He's talking about activating a Tengen barrier, okay, in Japan so that all of the cursed energy is monopolized in Japan. So we have that panel of Yuki and GETWO, that clash of wills, that page where Yuki's at the top and GETWO's at the bottom. And she's saying that that the future humanity lies in breaking away from cursed energy, which is a very beautiful line because she's talking about cursed energy, this entity, this energy being created from negative emotions, no longer being something that's such a powerful force in humanity. And GETWO was on the opposite side of the spectrum where he says, no, the future of humanity lies in honing into it, monopolizing it, using it, actually using it for an energy source. So we get this clash of ideals where Yuki makes it very obvious for anyone that had any type of doubts on Yuki and anyone who felt like Yuki was in opposition to us. Yuki makes it very clear that that's not the world that she's going for. She's not looking for a world where cursed energy has all this control. She generally wants cursed energy gone. She wants that gone. And even GETWO himself talks about, I thought you gave up that ideal with the death of Toji's in him. So this is another confirmation that Toji was a higher plane of being. You kind of get what I'm saying, than everyone else. But the fact that Toji's thing was called a heavenly restriction, it makes you wonder how much the heavens really are involved with everything going on in Jujutsu Kaisen, right? Because if cursed energy is this entity, this energy that is created from negative emotions, and this is something that Yuki is talking about human beings no longer needing, no longer using, and that is how they will elevate to the next level of existence. That makes you wonder, does that literally mean the world that we're living in, this world, this earth, in the world of Jujutsu Kaisen is a hell? Think about it like this, right? And I know I'm not necessarily talking about the chapter, like talking about the exact moments happening in the chapter, but I want to talk about basically what Yuki is talking about here, where Yuki is saying that humanity is going to become its next level when it's no longer having to deal with cursed energy. People say there is hell on earth. That is literally what these sorcerers are going through on earth. They're going through hell on earth. That is what cursed energy is. It is hell on earth. So when someone has a heavenly restriction, is that literally the heavens giving them some type of specialness? Is that why you don't have cursed energy, but you're extremely powerful? You have very strong physical feats, stuff like that, like Maki and Toji. But then you have to think about people like Kokichi, who his heavenly restriction allowed him to have this abundance of cursed energy. So it's making me wonder, is Akutami trying to purposefully play with this heaven and hell wording? Or is this just a coincidence and things sound good, right? So then continue on with the chapter, I would like to talk about the fact that GETWO has had his hands in everything, including Megumi's sister passing out. The fact that he has said that there was curses that he made, curses and curse users, sorcerers, that he has done binding vows with from the millennia. Okay, from a millennia ago. And then now, because he got a new body, those vows are now null. So that just changed everything I understand about heavenly restriction, because, not heavenly restriction, binding vows, because now binding vow isn't something that necessarily has to do with, I guess you can say, the brain. It's something that has to do with the body, aka the soul. So now we know that cursed energy is much more connected to the brain than we thought before. When Shoko herself says, we don't know the relationship between the brain and cursed energy. Well, now we know that a whole brain with cursed energy is able to steal bodies. And when he's using Mahito's idol transfiguration, he is changing the brain of people so that they can be sorcerers. So you can have the potential to be a sorcerer and even have a technique in your soul, but your brain cannot comprehend curses and cursed energy. Hence, you can't see them. I think Akutami is being very meticulous and very accurate with cursed energy and everything that has to do with biology and spirituality. Mahito was able to touch Junpei and see he had a cursed technique, right? And was able to help mold that so he can use a curse technique using idol transfiguration. GETWO now has used idol transfiguration to manipulate the brain so that the person with the technique who's a non-sorcerer can be one, and Mahito's sister has now awoken because he probably made her swallow a cursed object. So it now makes me wonder, what conditions was she under to where she swallowed a cursed object from GETWO? And now the restriction and the limit on that cursed object, GETWO has now broken. Okay, he has now broken, and now it is just out here. And now he said he's going to make them fight each other so they understand more about cursed energy. I think it's very profound that GETWO talks about something that is created from oneself cannot exceed one's potential. So he has admitted himself, my potential is not there to reach what I want to see from cursed energy. So what he says he has to do is create chaos, okay? He said he has to create chaos outside of himself in the world to see the other potentials of other people, to see how the world and human beings react to all of these things going on. It's honestly mind-blowing how self-serving he is while also admitting he isn't the end-all, be-all of cursed energy. He's admitted that there's more to it that even he has not fully grasped. He keeps saying that there is more to this. He literally said that sorcerers, non-sorcerers, curses, curse techniques, he said those are possibilities with cursed energy. Possibilities. So he's saying that there can be more done with cursed energy, but what? So like when Yuki was talking about, if Japan becomes this source, this siphon of cursed energy, that means literal flesh and blood humans are going to be used as an energy source. And then she specifically says that that superpower, and the panel highlights America, and the rest of the Middle East won't go for it. Akutami has impressed me because that right there just showed how much world knowledge Akutami has, right? Because the Middle East is the source of energy in the world currently? Oil, right? And in America, the superpower is always trying to dive into that source, always going over there trying to figure out how to get into that oil source, right? Because the Americans are fucking nosy, all right? This country is nosy as shit. So, with that being said, Yuki straight up says, Akutami has Yuki straight up say, America and the Middle East is not going to just let us become the new source of energy in the world, especially if we're using flesh and blood human beings. And that's not the world I'm going for. I mean, Akutami has literally just taken this and just blew it out of the water. I was already impressed when Mei was talking about Japan changing and selling stuff and the economy. But that's because GET2 probably did say to Mei, listen here, this is what the fuck I'm on. And now Mei's like, oh no, this is hell. This is hell. There's nothing we can do about this. She probably almost died trying to fight after hearing some shit, and it was like, oh nah, we out this. This is a dumb move. Okay? So now Akutami has literally said this is going to go overseas. Like, this is going to become much bigger than Japan. And then we even get the Miguel and Yuta panel again, where Yuki talks about outside of Japan, there's not a bunch of sorcerers. Like, it ain't sorcerers like that out here. So that's why here in Japan is where everything will be siphoned. Him trying to use a Tengen barrier to do this. But then he remote activates the the idol transmutation, I'm sorry. And then that's when now we know that this man has been plotting all of this all this time and has 1,000 malevolent Yuji Itadoris out here as a figure of speech. So he's saying, basically, I have 1,000 motherfuckers out here who are vessels of cursed energy from a cursed object like Yuji, who are malevolent. And then Yuki, flexing on us, goes, 1,000? That's not a lot. Well, excuse us, bitch. I'm freaking out. You chilling? If you chilling, then we chilling. But I'm freaking out. He got 1,000, bro? 1,000 of them? And then when he says that piece about the binding vows being null, and then Yuki realizes what's going on, and then he releases all of these curses. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm so excited because now the next arc is probably about to be wilder than Shibuya. And that's saying something. Like, that is saying something. I'm over here thinking that we're going to get an execution arc for Yuji. That might be a mini arc within them trying to figure out what the hell they are going to do about all of these curses and these 1,000 mini Yujis running around. And then Yuki goes, well, just because you gave people power, they're going to start killing each other. And then GET2 look at her and go, you think I ain't think of that? Your questions and your plot holes is getting kind of weak. Like, he's like, you really kind of disappointing me right now. Like, that was kind of how he came off. Like, you're not saying nothing no more. You clearly, now he's kind of confident that, like, I'm ahead of you now. Like, before, he was looking at Yuki on some, yeah, you be thinking, so you might have some shit on me right now. But at that moment, I think GET2 got confirmed, oh, you not on shit. Like, you don't even really know what I'm really up here on for real. Like, you're not even tapped in. And I think that is what's scaring me, is because GET2 has been plotting this all this time. We knew that Megumi's sister was not the only case of random stuff happening to people and like passing out for a long time in coma, stuff like that from cursed energy. They just had no idea how it happened. Now we know GET2 was out here marking people that he purposefully chose. So he purposely chose Fushiguro's sister, Megumi's sister. He purposely chose her for that. And who is this other non-sorcerer who had a technique, who he just made now be able to use the technique? And the fact that GET2 literally sat there and said that because of Yuji, Mahito was able to grow, and so he was able to do this remote shit, and that he also wanted Jogo too. He was plotting on these curses losing. He was literally plotting on them losing so he can take them. And I know we always speculated that he wasn't really with them, but no, now we know his real plan was, y'all gonna get effed up. I'm gonna snatch y'all up, and continue what I'm doing. That was his plan. I find it really cool too. I'm gonna mention this piece that Choso's blood was able to poison Yuriyume. I find that very awesome, but Yuriyume will bounce back as Yuriyume supremacy. But I did find that really cool. I'm glad Choso's not out the mix. I found it extremely cute that Yuki was like, okay, I'm ready to beat your ass up now. Like she was like, okay, I'm ready to scrap you now. Like, you talking too fucking much. Oh, and then also her talking about that the person she was stalling for and that her subordinates, excuse me, that her subordinates already was protecting the girl in the suit, and Todo. That was also really cool. So that means Yuki ain't come alone. So Yuki has a squad apparently with her. Where is Yurihime? Yeah, Yurihime wasn't in the chapter. Where's Yurihime? So I don't know. I don't know what that is. I don't know if Yurihime is acting like Yuki right now. I don't think so, because the conversation was definitely that's definitely Yuki. So I don't know what Yurihime is doing. Now I'm confused because he said the girl in the suit. So yeah, so Miwa, Mai, and Todo are being protected right now by Yuki's people. Where's Yurihime? Interesting. I guess we gotta wait till 137 to see exactly what Yurihime is doing. That's very weird. That is very weird. I don't know where Yurihime is. That threw me off. But other than that, this chapter was ridiculous, you guys. Like, I know I didn't do my usual, like, just going page by page, but I had to just talk about what the hell just got explained to us and what deeper meanings these things are starting to mean. Because when this man just now released all of them curses, held out the prison realm, and was like, haha, I'm out this bitch. And then says to Sukuna, like, I'm watching you. I have a lot I expect from you. It's time again. The Heian period. The golden age of curse techniques. The golden age of curse technique. So when he just said that, he didn't say the golden age of curses. He said the golden age of curse techniques. That means we're about to have sorcerer v sorcerer fights, y'all. That's what that means. We're about to have some real sorcerer v sorcerer scraps. It's about to get real. The golden age is happening. It would be really cool if Akutami goes, so before I get y'all straight into the golden age, let me give y'all a little flashback of what the golden age was back in the day. And to give us a little idea of what the hell we might just see in the future. I think this is the perfect time for us to get some Sukuna flashbacks. Megumi and Sukuna are probably going to have to link up and meet up because something deep is going to be going on with his sister waking up. Especially with him saying that he's about to make her and whoever this other person is scrap so they can understand curse energy more. That's deep. So what exactly is Megumi about to get into with his sister here? Is Maki and Nobito okay? Like, there's so many things that just unfolded at the end of this chapter. Throughout this whole chapter, do I have questions? But I know the questions will have to be answered as we continue on. I really don't have anything else to really specifically speak on. But I do want to say that from here on out, I think Jujutsu Kaisen is about to get a lot darker than what we already know it as. I think all of us that was ready to get back those nice, sweet, relaxed moments after Shibuya with our trio again, I don't think they're going to have time anymore. I really don't think they're going to have time anymore. I think now time is up. It's time to get real. That is all from me, you guys. I am absolutely impressed with Akutami and everything Akutami is doing. Like I always say, if you enjoy this content from me in the Hideout, please smash that like button. Hit that comment section, okay? Hit the sub button and hit that bell icon. And if you would love to support us, there's a Patreon and a Ko-Fi in the link description. Link, you know. But other than that, you guys, I'm just mind blown by Akutami in this chapter, as you guys can see. I'm just like, I'm gone, and I can't wait to talk to you guys more on Twitter about this and everything else that we're getting until January 31st, end of the month, where we get chapter 137, which is the official last chapter of Shibuya with the color page. So, as always, it is me, Doncho. Peace.